Ooh, look at the shoulder work. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to podcast number 56. We got a good one for you today, and check out all the gadgets we got. One of the things I want to ask everybody right now, all of our guests that are going to come on, what is your favorite kitchen gadget and why? But before we get started, let me talk about our sponsors or the podcast sponsor. Anita Sharma, Rosmatos from Remax. They're actually selling my property right now.
Come on, let's sell Rick's house.
Shout out to those ladies. Move your ass, ladies. I mean, good luck, ladies. Recognized as top producers in their industry year after year, Anita was recently named Remax's #1 individual agent in Manitoba for 2019. We're going to get you that for 2020, Anita. From detached houses, condos, commercial buildings, and custom-built homes, they have the resources and the network to get the job done. Call 204-989-9000 or visit AnitaSharmaTurner.com. So they've been a great sponsor for us. What did you have to say there before I cut you off?
I was going to say, let's do a vote.
So
what's yours favorite kitchen tool?
I got a great one.
Okay, what is it?
There's a good story behind it, too.
Okay.
So mine is the rice
the spatula.
Yeah.
That my brother built you?
Yeah, and I can share that reason for you if you want. But go ahead, let's get it. What's yours? Do you have one favorite one of us? And just so everybody knows, this is all Terry's kitchen gadgets.
I didn't even notice it till Rick pointed it out just now.
I didn't even know there was this many kitchen gadgets.
Yeah. Oh my God, where do you find room for these things?
I don't. This is why I can't buy anything more. My husband's going to kill me. She's going to kill me.
Is that a contention point in your marriage?
Yeah. Well,
gadgets.
Well, no. I bought an air fryer recently. He's going, where did this come from?
Yeah.
He's going to have to find room for it.
Look at that mic you got. Holy
I know.
smokes, Jerome.
The best.
What is this?
Is this the Terry podcast or what's going on
here?
here?
Is she getting the premium stuff?
The
best.
Hugo gets his own camera and Terry gets her own. Yeah. We're just getting pushed aside here, Rick. All right, so what is it? You can't decide?
Oh, no, probably Vitamix.
Which one's that?
This is
one?
Vitamix. You can put your shoe in there and make a smoothie.
Ooh.
Really?
Oh, it's like
you've had a shoe smoothie.
It's got like a 3 or 4 horsepower or something.
I'd like to blend up Hugo's shoes because it's time for an upgrade here. You're going to be coaching lots, buddy. You better get some new kicks.
Throw the Vitamix right away after that.
Oh, my shirts are sour right now, too.
So far, so good.
We're already degrading. Boys. Bring it back up. Let's set some better standards for this club. What's your favorite one?
You know what? Maybe a sous vide.
A what?
A sous vide.
What is that? We were just talking about the perfect knife earlier.
A sous vide.
Sous vide. What's a sous vide?
Purchased over in France.
Yeah.
A sous vide
is it a French thing?
No, I don't think it's a French thing. I don't know. It's a water immersion. Yeah, here.
Jerome, can you flash it on the screen?
So is that where you cook your meat in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
It's sous vide and it cooks it perfect. You could cook anything in there.
Like poaching?
It's not quite poaching. You
Is
put it in
sous vide?
It's sous vide. But don't
S-O-U-S.
Hey, dude, unbelievable, dude.
V-I-D.
Sous vide.
Sous vide.
Sous vide. You put anything in like a vacuum sealed bag and you put it in hot water and it cooks it and it's impossible to overcook. If you have vegetables, it doesn't break the cell wall. You could take a really tough piece of meat and make it really soft.
Wow.
But you know what? Like a good knife is what I think I always will default back to.
Yeah.
Good knife.
Simple.
Okay,
Simple,
RJ?
yeah.
Mine used to be the Magic Bullet. I had the same Magic Bullet. You guys remember that? The original. It was like $29. I had it for probably 10 years, and then I upgraded to the Ninja one.
Yeah.
But the problem with the Ninja ones is the cups are too big. Do you guys find that? And they don't fit in the holders?
Yeah.
So that's like my biggest tiff. But, I mean, that thing is amazing. I can never go back to the Bullet now.
We have a bullet at home as well.
Oh, yeah?
Because it's just like one cup.
Yeah, it's just
like
a single
smoothie,
cup, and
right?
you can put it in the thing. But have you used the Ninja Bullets and the
No, I've
Ninja
never.
ones?
Yeah.
1,200 watts?
I've
God.
looked at it, but I
Best
haven't
smoothies ever. It's worth the upgrade.
The sous vide is now in my brain. I'm going, my husband's probably going, no way.
And speaking of the ninja, if you have a ninja haircut like RJ, the ninja bun.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You got the.
Let's see if I can figure it out. We'll give it that one.
Yeah, you got another announcement, don't you?
Oh yeah, so guys, let's. It's Neri's birthday today, so happy birthday, Neri!
Happy birthday,
Neri!
Neri! You better watch this episode.
We're going out for cake. Yesterday she
Purple
went out.
cake?
Yes, yesterday she went out with her friends.
Yeah.
And apparently there was an hour wait at Brown's on a Tuesday because they're at half capacity, right? And they couldn't wait indoors. Because they were adding to their capacity, right? So they had to wait an hour on a Tuesday night, which is crazy. And then, so the cake that she got is an ube cake. And you can get the ube cake from Goodies. So Goodies is Italian, I believe, right? And the cake is good. Like, I ate a piece, and it was fantastic. But then you got to go to the Sugar Bloom. That's where we're going to go today. And get a traditional Filipino mom to make it for you.
Oh.
And there's a difference. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Goodies one tastes like I bought it from Costco.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very groomed, polished cake. And then you go get the cake from them, and it's like buttery and light and airy. It's different. They're two different cakes.
Yeah.
But both fantastic.
It's like buying pierogies in a bag in a store, and then
the
my
Superstore
mother-in-law's
no-name
pierogies.
ones. Yeah, and then the ones Rick makes. Yeah.
Did you know that I bought the pierogi house?
No.
Did you know that? The property that I bought was called the pierogi house. They said.
Oh, but you're not selling pierogies.
Nope.
You're converting it to your...
Well, like I converted it 20 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you a story. So when I first opened up, and you got to realize that the pierogi house was kind of like a kitchen, right? It had huge stove, like burner stoves, and of course it had the glass showcases with everything. As soon as I took it over, I renovated the whole thing, and it was like a clothing store. Yeah. Very obvious different when you walk in there, right? I must have had at least, for the first probably 6 months, at least 2-3 people a day just come right up to me and be like, "Mel, I get 12 dozen pierogies." Not even looking around anymore, not looking at the sign. They were just, and I don't even know if they had phones back then when I took it over, but nobody gave a shit that there was clothing all over the place. So, and I remember the funniest thing is I had this old man. He was old, like 100 years old, and he walked in and asked for pierogies, and I said, "Don't do this anymore." And he tore strip off of me. Oh. He yelled at me for about 10 minutes because what am I supposed to do now?
Well, it is your fault.
It was
my fault. Yeah.
It was obviously good pierogies.
Yeah, it was. I mean, these guys were famous for their pierogies, but I'll be honest. When I bought that property, I don't know how, like how health inspectors come around and check everything now, how these guys got away with what they did.
Oh, they didn't check.
Blows my mind. Like there was a basement, I don't know how you, is it like a quarter basement or a full basement? I don't even know how you want it. Levels of basements. Anyways, in the first level of basement, all they did was have 5-gallon pails of water with cabbage leaves, and that's how they fermented it or they softened it or whatever. Just open like this. And when I first got that place, there was mice running around. I had to fix it. So you've got that, and then you've got these coolers that were so old and they never worked anymore. And I was responsible for all these things because they just shut down. I think the old man died, and the lady wanted nothing to do with it, and they just bought the property. Whatever's in it is yours. So. But, it was amazing how good people think those pierogies are, but where they were made, you ain't eating them. I'll tell you that. If you
maybe I would, though. Yeah. Maybe I still would.
You probably would. You probably would.
That probably happens in more places than we want to happen.
But yeah, you're right.
I don't want to know what's happening in the background.
Pierogies are definitely one of those things as well. So, but today, did I do your intro yet?
No.
Holy smokes, we really got into this, eh?
That was 15 minutes or 10 minutes.
Let's talk about the lady sitting to my left here. Our guest today is a 58-year-old mother of 2 and has been a long-time member of Fit Club.
Oh, yeah.
She has a strong love of travel and animals, and if she won the lottery, would open an animal farm. I love it. I'll do it with
sanctuary.
you. I'll work for you if you own it.
She wants chickens. You said you're going to get her chickens? Or no, Betty said.
Yeah, Betty. Although I would love to have chicken, but I mean, I'm always going, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this.
Are you an animal saver? Like, do you always want to save the stray cat and the 3-legged dog and stuff like that?
I would. I'm on YouTube a lot, looking at animal rescues, and I'm sitting there and I'm just weeping, and my husband's going, "Why are you always looking at this stuff? I want to do this."
Okay, I got a positive story with that. So the other day I work and I have a full view to my front yard, and I see these 2 ducks and they just go at it. And it's super aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Remember we were
like
talking
fighting?
about this?
Duck
no,
fights?
they start going at it.
Oh yeah,
banging?
Yeah.
Duck banging.
And the way that they bang is it's just like he's just patting at her head and jumping on her, and it just straight mountain, and I thought they were fighting, like he was gonna kill her.
You know
it
what?
looked like that.
Turtles are the same way.
Oh really?
Oh,
it was real. I was like, I was sitting there watching this thing, and I was like, I don't know if I should go and save this thing, right? Like that's how bad this thing looks.
Thousands of years of evolution.
And then they get off, right? Then they're just chilling there, like you can tell that the male duck went to sleep for a half. I experienced the thing right from start to finish, right? So then I YouTube it up, and I was like, okay. And then yesterday, I'm out and I'm turning on my sprinklers. We're running through the sprinklers at my house. There's a little egg under one of my trees.
Oh,
like an actual egg.
There it is.
Did you eat it?
No,
it's a duck
I'm gonna leave
egg.
it there.
A
I'm gonna
duck
let it
egg.
grow or whatever. Like if they come back.
Show your kids.
And we did, and Jet wanted to go and touch it. I said, no, Jet, don't touch it because I want to see if this egg, this duck comes out, and then I'll have a pet duck.
Just one though, eh?
Dude, I'll keep that duck in my backyard.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Until it flies or whatever. I got a little pool.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it.
Hey guys, let me continue this here. So she hates. Yeah, we do know that you're going to open your sanctuary somewhere warm because you hate winter, loves the beach.
I do.
And one of her odd habits is collecting cooking gadgets, as we have displayed here.
But I don't like to cook.
Yeah, that's going to be weird. We'll talk about that. Hugo's like, what?
I know.
That's why you have all these gadgets.
I know.
So she's a black belt in karate and soon going for her 2nd degree black belt. She's a passionate vegetarian and is always up for a good debate. I heard that about you. She'll be retired in 11 months, and her goal is to be in the best shape at 60 years old. Everybody, let's welcome Terry Swindisky. I got that button down.
No, that was
Nailed down. So one of the reasons why I got you on here is you're a vegan.
Yep.
Obviously, that seems to be quite a popular subject today. You're 6 years into your vegan journey.
Yep.
One of the questions that I would have is what motivated you to make that decision?
Well, I have a bad family history for cardiovascular disease.
Okay.
My dad passed away 54 years old of a heart attack. My mom had her first heart attack when she was 40, had 4 heart attacks, ultimately died when she was 70 of a stroke, a massive stroke. Very poor quality of life. My brother died of a heart attack when he was 47. My younger brother died at 47.
Okay.
So, and they were all on cholesterol meds.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I finally, after my brother passed away, I went to the doctor and said, there's something going on in my family. Let's do a workup. She says, your cholesterol is pretty high. We're going to have to put you in cholesterol meds. And I went, not for long, because this does not save my family. There's a lot of side effects, all this type of stuff, really bad for your liver and harden your liver. So I said, I'm going to look for a different way of doing this. Mm-hmm. And so I looked around, and I was reading a lot of anecdotal, counts of how veganism helped them with the cardiovascular and stuff. So I took a course. There's a course that called the CHIP program, which is Complete Health Improvement Program. It's 3 months, very intensive. First month, you're going 3 times a week.
Okay.
To go, and it's and you've got a physician overseeing you, a nurse, physiotherapist, dietitian overseeing you. They take your labs, your blood at the very beginning, midway through, halfway through, then at the end, and then by the end of it, my cholesterol dropped so low I had to go off my cholesterol meds.
Sure.
My blood pressure dropped. My blood pressure wasn't even that high, but my blood pressure dropped.
Mm-hmm.
All my labs dropped into like the low to normal level.
So do you think the problem was meat though? Like for your family?
You know what? For me, my perspective, it was the meat, but also, people are also raised on a certain lifestyle. They're raised in the way they eat. My family was very meat, potato, vegetable oriented.
Right.
So if I had, in the last probably 10 years, I was always trying the chicken and, trying to do it better, but my cholesterol was still going up. Mm-hmm. So I said, let's try this and see if it worked. And it dropped. I've been off my cholesterol meds ever since. I also suffered from a lot of sinus issues and sinus infections, 3 or 4 a year. And then heard of a friend of mine that was a singer. They don't drink dairy products at all a week beforehand if they're doing if they've got a gig or something, because it's very mucolytic, like it's very produces a lot of mucus. So and then she said the day before she goes off all animal products because then she's just clearer. So the first thing I did before going completely full blown vegan, I went off dairy completely.
Okay.
And within 2 or 3 weeks, it was the first time I was symptom free like in 6 years. Like
really?
I was like I had no more headaches, no more. Any of that type of stuff. I went, ooh. And then that's when I started looking into going further into it. And that sort of all culminated in my health issues and stuff. So it worked for me. It worked for me.
Yeah, and I guess, so what's your opinion? Do you have a strong opinion on meat? Like, are you the type of person to be like, don't eat meat?
No, just don't tell me what I'm doing is not healthy.
Okay.
Okay. Don't tell me that's not healthy.
That's fair. That's fair.
No,
absolutely.
No. I'm not going to turn around. Someone says, what you're doing is not healthy. And I research everything. I research anything. Like I research for hours. So, if you're going to tell me what you're eating is unhealthy, then I will, what I'm doing is unhealthy, then I'll turn around and give you a lot of the different science
and you've
stuff
lived
like
it.
that.
You've lived
and
it for 6 years. A lot of people, they'll go to a seminar, they'll read a book or watch a YouTube, and all of a sudden they're a pro with respect to it. So
I know.
Yeah, but no, I agree. And I'm not one way or another. I don't classify myself as a vegan, a meat eater, or whatever. I just...
You're an omnivore.
An omnivore. So that's a little bit of everything? Is that what that is?
Yeah. Flexitarian?
Flexitarian, is that what it is?
I don't know what it is.
Oh, geez,
people
just
call
omnivore.
themselves flexitarian.
Labels.
So, yeah.
What about your husband?
My husband's hunter-fisherman.
Amazing. Oh,
yeah,
what a contrast.
I know. He still doesn't understand to this day. Like, he says, you have to have a meat with every meal. You have to have your bacon. You have to have with every meal. He eats
Well,
He eats very well.
I mean, I don't think you need to have a meat with every meal at all. Maybe if anything, once a day, maybe. Sure.
Okay.
But the fact that he hunts and fishes his own food, does he do that?
He hunts and fishes. I mean, less so now than he used to. He used to go every year.
I mean,
but
if you're successful one time, that's like years worth of food.
Yeah, but he goes
isn't
out with a bunch of guys, and
And
if
split
they
it
get like one animal in a hunt, they share the animal, right? I mean, I think he had some bratwurst yesterday or something that was made out of deer.
it? Oh, cool.
He has a friend who's got a butcher brother, and then he's got a smoker, and so they just.
Yeah, so like that to me, that's like ideal. That's the best.
If I were to ever go back to meat, it would only be wild.
Well,
game.
I mean, it also like removes the bit of the ethical dilemma from eating meat to veganism, right? It's one of the if you're vegan, the whole lifestyle vegan is very ethical.
Yeah, and I vegan is
Does that
the
factor in
short
for you?
version. Well, vegan is the short version. I prefer just like whole foods, plant-based.
Sure.
Because
yeah.
I didn't get into it originally for the ethical reason. Now that I've been doing a lot of research and stuff like that, I was like, holy crap. I mean, the stuff that happens.
It's pretty gross.
That stuff that happens in the slaughterhouses and stuff like that is. Was it Paul McCartney said if slaughterhouses had glass walls, everyone would be vegan?
Yeah,
I mean, he
they
said
sure
something like
would.
that. Anyway, so I didn't get into it for that reason. But now that I'm aware of it, but I'm not like a huge advocate for stuff like that. But you're right. I mean, if I were to ever go back to eating meat, it would be wild game, because they live the lives they're meant to live right up until the end.
Yeah.
And then
Stay away from my ducks.
Yeah, they're safe with me.
The once a month.
I might steal them.
I'm not going to tell you where that egg is.
All of a sudden, he's
I know
a
where
pet
you-
protector, right? This guy over here
I'll steal
couldn't
it
give
for
a
my
shit about anything
sanctuary.
ever. Now these are my ducks.
If I
You ain't
have them, they're
touching
for
my
my little
ducks.
sanctuary. That's all. You'll live a great life.
So can I ask a question here?
Sure.
Do you find it the biggest dilemma I've had with working with vegetarians or vegans, more vegans, is the trying to get the protein in, and because like working with Jen, I helped her with her nutrition.
Yeah.
She was consuming 3 shakes a day and just trying to get in as much like tofu and you know what I mean. It was really hard to meet the protein requirements.
Yeah.
So-
that, and I found that was a struggle ever since I started working here, because I have a specific goals. I mean, I like the long and lean muscle look.
Yeah.
Hard to attain it, and honestly, I'm also not a foodie, right? So I don't. I mean, I could care less. I mean, just if I could pop a pill and get all my macros, I'd be happy.
Oh yeah.
If I didn't have to cook,
Yeah.
if I didn't have to do
Yeah.
clean up afterwards, I'd be the happiest person in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so so getting all the protein has always been my issue, and then you go back and forth. I mean, was the saying that was said to me recently? It says paralysis by analysis. There is so much information out there. I hear, like 1 gram of protein per pound of weight,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
But then in the vegan circles, okay, for vegan, not so much the bodybuilders because that's a different, but in the people who do are very athletic and stuff, they're saying it's less than that. They're saying it could be 0.8 per kilo or something, which is
it's very goal oriented.
yeah. So
And
do you want to build? Do you want to be lean? Are you an endurance
Yeah.
runner? I mean, there's all different.
I find if I don't get my protein in, I'm sore and look flat.
well, naturally, right?
Yeah.
Because when you work out, they're having micro tears, and now they thought that micro tears was what making you sore, but now it's maybe a chemical reaction and everything. But fundamentally, you're tearing the muscle, and the way to rebuild them is protein.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah. So I completely understand that, and that's always been the part that's been my biggest struggle coming here. I love doing the workouts. I mean, I had lost weight, gained some weight back. I mean, the before and after picture I put out there on purpose, because that's my accountability picture.
You got it.
Because
Good.
you know what I did? I lost like 27 pounds or something, and then took my eye off the ball. Right?
You
If you're-
traveled lots.
Traveling, I'm not a foodie, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll have whatever they have there, and I don't care. And,
Okay.
and then when I eat, I'll sometimes have breakfast, and I'm not hungry. And if I'm not hungry, I don't think about food. So sometimes I'm hungry till like 4 in the afternoon, and I went, oh darn, I haven't had lunch.
Mhm.
Dinner's in like an hour and a half.
Mhm.
So I'll force a snack in me, and I'll have 1,100 calories in a day,
Right.
right? So there's my issues, because I'm also eating bulkier food.
Right.
So, and they're much more calorie dense,
Yep.
right? So that's the problem, and you have to be eating all the time, right? So that's been my biggest issue here.
Do you supplement at all? Anything?
Supplement. Well, I do protein shakes, but I have a
Okay.
protein shake in the morning.
Mhm.
But I'm eating a lot of tofu,
Okay.
and a lot of tofu, and I'm trying to get into tempeh.
That's what Jen eats now.
Yeah,
Is the
Jen's
tempeh.
a big tempeh fan.
Yeah.
So what's the difference again? Tofu
Tofu is like a
is
bean curd.
Okay.
Right?
What does it look like? Is it the soft one? Which one's
Well,
the
they have
soft
like a
different
block.
firmnesses. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a block. Tempeh is a different kind of bean?
Tempeh is fermented soy.
Yeah.
So it's fermented. Where tofu is they make it into a soy milk, and then they coagulate it, and then
It's-
they press it.
Is it
into
the
a
watery
block.
one?
It's both soy based.
Yeah,
Or-
it can be watery. Depends whether you have firm, extra
Oh,
firm,
okay, I got
silken.
it.
It's a whole bunch of these. Silken you can
Yeah.
make sauces and stuff with. Where the firm is you can.
I like the
cut
one
it
that's
up.
chewy. Which
Yeah.
Which
I
one's
think,
That's
I think
like
you want
firm
firm
or
tofu.
extra firm.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
the
like
one I
the
made.
gooey,
Yeah.
like
That's the one that I made
custard
when I was on Mary's
type of-
Kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry, one thing you mentioned was your picture accountability.
So I had lost all that weight, and then that's because I was always keeping track. I was getting on the scale every week. Oh boy, I lost 4 pounds. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm good. I didn't go on the scale for 8 months, and did do some travel 8 months. Came back. Oh crap, I'm 12 pounds heavier than I was when I left. Okay, I got to get back. Lost a couple pounds. I didn't get on the scale again for months, and then if you're not keeping accountable, you get your weight's going up and up and up. And when I went on one of my trips when I was in Israel and stuff, was my most comfortable weight. That was the weight I felt the healthiest at, and everything else. So that is my goal now, and I am now on a strict meal plan. I exercise every day, and trying to get all my protein in. I'm eating tofu, so I'm up to here in tofu.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. Tempeh to me is very neutral in flavor, so
I love that term. Keep eye off. You like had your eye off the ball and things.
I had
like
my eye
like
off
that
the
term.
ball.
I mean, there's different sources of protein for vegetarian. Like chickpeas, lentils,
yeah,
things like
yeah.
that. Those are probably
Edamame
excellent.
That really
beans.
messes with your macros though.
It's a tricky game for sure. I mean, you can't really do anything more than like a higher carbohydrate diet on a vegan. Right?
So let me ask you this: somebody that's not working out, and obviously their caloric intake would be less than somebody that's working out.
Right.
Now, here's like the question: if I were to go 50% carbohydrates and 30% protein and 20% carbs or 20% fat, how would the physique look? Like,
Well, it depends on the carbs, right?
It depends on the carbs. I mean, she's likely eating a shit ton of fiber.
Yeah.
Right. So the glycemic index in that aspect is not going to really spike. Right. So
Right.
there's not going to be a lot circulating sugar in the blood. So she probably won't be that affected by it. And if she's working out and she's eating that much carbs, and only some of it is going to be used for stored energy, and the other some might be used for fiber, then she probably won't know a whole big difference. But it may be. She'd be more prepped for doing works like these, which are very glycolytic events, right? Because you're going for 30 minutes, right? So it'd be fine for her.
I mean, I don't think from the research that I've done, because that's harder. Like your body will convert dietary fat to body fat very easily. I mean, it's only what takes 3 calories to do that, so your body will readily do it. Carbs is a lot harder. Your body has to work a lot harder in order to convert carbs to fat. It's like a quarter of the calories you're eating is used to convert it to fat. Your body doesn't want to do that. I mean, our bodies inherently want to go to the most efficient manner. So the more fiber you eat, the less chance that that's going to be converted to sugar or fat, right?
so let me ask you this: if I go and have a big bowl of ice cream,
Yeah.
would a hack be to go and have Metamucil?
I've seen this debate over and over again. I think theoretically yes.
Yeah.
I think so. But I mean, there's still a bunch of sugar that's gonna have to go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a slower release.
Yeah. So there you go.
And really-
There's a way you can eat junk food and
The only thing is the calories are still
junk with your
there.
hat.
The calories are still there, but the insulin manipulation is different.
Yeah.
But the calories and
insulin.
sugars are still there.
Yeah, you're not going to get an insulin spike.
Well,
It's like
no,
what
you
people
are
do-
going to get an insulin spike with
Yeah,
all that
but not
sugar.
as high though.
Well,
And slower.
Because if you pile down the ice cream,
yeah.
boom, you put back a Metamucil.
Like the fiber of the
Yeah.
Metamucil, you mean?
Or do the Metamucil
But you know what?
first, then eat the ice cream.
the best way ever is natural. Metamucil is not natural.
No, it's not.
Right?
No.
So I mean,
Yeah, but I'm just thinking of
In
if I'm
theory.
going out
Eating.
walking over, I can put a little package of Metamucil on.
you know,
my God,
I think I'm a food addict because I think if I were to have one little thing of ice cream, it just doesn't stop. Honestly,
sure.
in my
Yeah.
head,
Yeah.
in my head. So I can't have anything in my house that I'm not supposed to be having because if it's there, I'm going to eat it.
Mhm.
And I can't have like Nary's bars. I had to stop making Nary's
yeah.
bars because I can't
Everybody
have
does.
just.
Dude, that's like the
but I
third
can't
time I've heard that.
I can't
Everybody does.
have one serving is 2 Nary's bars. Ha.
Poor RJ always has them in his house.
I
and we're like,
know.
we can't have that.
You've been dry for a few days.
I know. You know what?
That's why I'm looking leaner.
I finally had to tell myself they are so good and they've got like a lot of protein, a lot of natural
Yeah.
stuff. But I said I got to give myself a break from
You
Nary's
do.
bars because
Yeah.
it really does affect what's happening in my body.
Oh,
So
big
I'm
time.
going to have
and
to
then
give
you
it a
just
rest.
because they're high in fat, they're high in carbs,
Sugar.
and they're so dense and small that it's like eating a nut, right?
I know,
Like,
and I put nuts in mine. So
yeah, so does Neri. Yeah.
I know. I put.
Carrie, what's the Terry, what's the importance of, or what is more important, weight on the scale or your picture?
For me, be visceral.
Visceral fat?
Visceral.
That's the
because
one that you pay attention to the most?
Because of
That's when you're like, oh my god, my visceral fat is down.
No. You know
I
what?
can
I
fit
mean,
in this dress now.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, having a nice picture, I mean, I'm not going to lie. That's a good thing. But I'm also looking into health and longevity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a very bad family history. My mom lived till she was 70, which was the longest living family member she's ever had. My grandma died at 60. My brother 47. My dad 54.
And that's super young. Like,
They're
you think
all
about
really
it, you
young.
know?
I'm 50. I'm 58. I'll be
Yeah.
59 this year. My brother didn't make it till 50. I'm older now than when my dad passed
So
away.
young, man.
When did you start exercising?
Well, I did karate for a while,
Oh,
but
you're black
karate,
belt,
but karate is like twice a week for an hour. Okay. And you're doing a lot of
But
explosive
to
action.
get to black belt, that's like what, years?
Years.
So twice a week for an hour for years?
For years.
Would
But
you
I mean,
say
it's
that's
not,
more than your parents did?
Oh, definitely more
Yeah.
than my. I mean, it's totally my lifestyle totally different than my parents. Okay.
Mhm.
But my total goal right now is longevity and health, and I know visceral fat is very important that way.
Yeah.
My visceral fat went from my after picture from 6, and I went up to 8. Now I'm down to 7, so I'm on the right path.
Nice.
When I'm looking at all my stats and stuff like that, my visceral fat's the first thing I go to because that's about my longevity.
Hugo, what's your number? What do you pay attention to the most? Visceral, muscle mass, body fat, the picture?
I mean, picture could probably speak louder than all that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the weight. I mean, I've always been around 200 pounds, no matter how I looked.
Yeah.
What are you at right now?
205 this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we get you at 6 pounds?
6
pounds in 6 days.
in 6 days. I'm not
By
drinking,
next week,
I'm not
you
drinking
need
no
to drop.
sodium.
You need to drop that 6
Yeah.
pounds.
No sodium, no water for 6 days. All right, fine.
That's all it takes. Well,
Yeah,
men
I've
are
seen
so
your-
much easier than women.
I've seen your transformation in the last 2.5 months, like us being
Yeah.
quarantined together. You look different. Even a couple of shots with you with your shirt off the other day. I was like, who's
Yeah,
this
well,
guy?
yeah.
Hey,
This
man,
guy's shirts are
athlete-
always off now.
Athlete of the month right here.
Okay, so out of those, which one would you say
well,
is your most important?
picture is the most
Picture.
important.
You take fit pictures often, or
I
not?
don't take pictures often, but I
Okay.
have recently, and honestly, performance.
Performance, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not like a something you take a note of, right?
Yeah.
It's just performance for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I
my
agree.
thing, my Fitbit has a cardiac health perspective to it.
Mhm.
And when I was doing that challenge in February, something like that, I was coming in and I was going for I needed to do 250 calories per workout. I needed 500 calories in a double.
Mhm.
And I was working my ass off to do that. And my fitness cardiac level was for someone my age to be about 33, 34. And I'm not sure where those numbers come from, but according to the Fitbit, whatever. And I was up to 41 to 43. And
Nice.
for someone my age, that's like 10 points higher than someone my age. And the 33 is good.
Yeah.
So I've actually, because I work out, but not to the intensity that when I'm on the blue. I
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
just
You know what? And that's the thing is that next week, even after a week, people are going to drop 3 to 5. It's just going to happen.
yeah.
You're going to drop 3 to 5. You're going to drop 3 to 5, and everybody that jumps on the blue, they're going to be so happy. Like it's just
but
going
we're
to
going to
happen
be
so quick.
dead in the first couple
Oh, you're gonna be
ones.
dead,
We're
yeah.
just going to you're going to
Yeah.
have to have an AED thing out
Yeah,
there. You're going to have
no
to one of
doubt.
those things out because
Yeah.
and I don't
Or puke buckets
it's
everywhere.
something.
Yeah.
We're
Speak
gonna be giving
moistly.
people medical attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, I do. I'm sweating. I just
Yeah.
like sweating. But and then I noticed that my cardiac thing has gone down
Mm.
since this whole COVID thing, and that
Mhm.
bugs me more than the weight gain that I had. It
Well, you
bugs
come
me.
out Saturday, and I guarantee we'll get that cardio
Yeah.
quick. Your lungs are going to be on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
RJ, what's yours? What do you like to focus on the most?
Morning, I have bad lighting in a mirror, and if I can see my muscle tone in bad lighting in a
That's
mirror,
how you
then
do
I
it?
know I'm jacked.
The picture?
So here's the thing.
No picture, just in the mirror. First
It's
thing
how
in
you
the
look
morning.
naturally.
Yeah, and if I have bad lighting in my, I don't turn both of them on purpose
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like I can see the leanness, and I always like do the side shot.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
so
that's
how you look in the mirror? Good.
How I look
Yep.
in the
Well, because I mean, weight is very arbitrary. It's just a number, right? I mean, and then the weight goes into what, like a BMI, your
Yeah.
body mass index, and I'm according to that, morbidly
Yeah.
obese.
Yeah.
I think I'm obese too, to be
So
honest.
it's like, why would I look at that weight scale as
I know.
much compared to the other factors?
So I think what I'm getting at here is the weight on the scale is always the most irrelevant number. In my opinion, I truly feel like it is. I think the only time it's important is if you're really heavy and your first maybe 2 months when you're going to drop all this weight and it gets you all amped up and excited.
That's going to be everybody this summer.
Yeah.
The next 60
and then
days.
you get so caught up in the numbers. Sometimes it can be very discouraging.
That's
I've been on this challenge for 2 weeks and I've gained weight. What's going on? And it's like it gets so.
Maybe your muscle mass went up.
Well, it could be.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, we don't concentrate on the muscle mass. We want to concentrate on the weight.
Yeah, that's the psychology behind it that actually really irritates me, and that's something that I like to talk about once in a while. Is why do we focus so much on that scale?
Yeah.
Like if I can run a marathon and if I look great in a picture and I can fit my suit that I bought 3 years ago, why do I give a shit what my weight is?
Yeah.
Why is that important?
It's just the easiest thing to point at, right? It's just like, how much money do you have in your bank? Does that create your happiness, or the beautiful house that you live in with the great neighborhood, or the lifestyle that you have and the freedom? Like, what's more important? You having $1 million in the bank, but being trapped to your desk for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, or having what you need in your bank, but living the life that you dream of? What's more important?
It's still like a nice measure, right? It's still a measure that you can manage.
Yeah,
but
totally.
You're right.
I feel it should be at the bottom of the priority list, and I don't think people should ever focus on that. That's why my question was. That's why I think the photo is the best.
Yeah.
Because the photo you can always, and even on a weekly basis, you can kind of say, you're not going to change much with respect to the inside of your body in a week, but you can see it if you drank too much, if you ate too much shit over the weekend, you know what I mean? So it's a good indication, and that can kind of realign you back into your diet, right? So
it's just not as motivating for people because the gains are going to be so incremental, right? Like if you do a photo from week 1 to week 2, you're going to see maybe some progress, but not as much as if you lost 5 pounds. You lost 5 pounds, it's a huge uplifter. But then, progressively over 6 to 12 weeks, if you take the photo, then that's when it makes sense. But we're all about the here and now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to lose 5 pounds by tomorrow, right?
I know.
And then you lose that 5 pounds by tomorrow, and you're on this amazing high, like this is the best journey ever. And then you gain 1 pound. And you hate yourself, and you hate the program,
That's
and you
the problem.
and then you say, "I'm done. I've been trying so hard. I've been eating so clean."
Yeah.
And I find when people say that, that they black out and they forget about the food that they ate, like yesterday or the weekend, right? So when they come in, they weigh in on Friday, even if they wait a full week, but they forget about the Saturday cheese, wine, pizza, everything that they plowed down on a Saturday. And then, like, I was working with a client one time. And she's like, I just can't, I'm eating good and this and that, but I have to have my girls' night, right? And then I was like, okay, have your girls' night. Let's just see what's up. 5,800 calories.
Holy crow.
Yeah, that'll sit on your thighs for a few days.
Just in the evening.
Yeah.
That's just like when so there's like, 4 glasses of wine. They do the cheese dipped, all that with the crackers and you know what I mean? And so 5,800 calories in one sitting. I'm not talking about the day. I'm not talking about the weekend. I'm talking about one sitting. How many calories does it take to put on a pound?
3,500.
35. So she's up 1.5 pounds.
Jeez.
Yeah. Right?
One night. I mean, that's the thing. Like you could lose 5 pounds on the scale in 5 days. Right? But
I fluctuate about 5 pounds overnight.
all the time. I have like
I do. I've always been like that.
sometimes I go to bed and just eat salt packets and then fall asleep and then I wake up just to see how much it goes up.
You go.
Your body's an
I
experiment.
eat salt packets.
You use yourself as an experiment. Oh, okay.
Oh man.
So so you don't supplement much other than protein?
B12.
B12.
B12 and vitamin
Iron?
D.
Vitamin D?
Not iron. No, my iron, actually, when I was eating meat, I actually went to go give blood once and I couldn't give because my iron was low. So now that I go give blood, my iron is actually higher now than when I went before I was vegan.
Right.
And no, other than B12 and
Zinc?
vitamin D, no.
You probably get enough from like some lentils and nuts and something like that.
Yeah. No, I went to the doctor for something and she took my labs and everything was smack down the middle, except I'm not sure.
Even calcium?
My calcium borderline high.
Really?
Yeah.
Calcium is one that is typically low. I mean, I read a study in 2017 where they took all the different kind of people, and while veganism had higher markers of health, lowest markers of calcium.
No, I'm not sure if my doctor's on board. She keeps going, oh, I don't know. Where do you get your calcium? And I go, leafy greens, spinach, kale, lentils. And then, she's going, well, she's going on there. And I'm going, well, what's my calcium level? And she told me, I went, that's borderline high. She goes, yeah, I know. Why are we having this conversation?
Yeah.
Well, because
Move on.
calcium without the other vitamins and minerals, calciums will just
Sit there.
Sit there,
You
right?
need your vitamin D.
you need vitamin D or
Yeah.
you need your vitamin K.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So that's probably why she might be concerned about
Yeah.
it. If you're not getting if you're getting all this, but you're not getting that, then yeah, we're gonna be concerned about your high
Yeah.
calcium.
And some vitamins aren't absorbed unless you've got another type of thing going on
Sure.
in your body.
Yep.
I'm all aware. I mean, the iron that I eat is non-heme iron,
Yeah.
not as bioavailable unless I have vitamin C with it. Then it becomes more bioavailable than heme iron. Okay, so see, I'm very nerdy.
Scientists. Here we go. Yeah.
I'm very scientist.
You
very
put two
nerdy.
scientists in the
Yeah.
in a,
2 minutes
in between
of
me and Rick.
2 minutes of nerd talk.
I'm watching Rick. He's just getting real uncomfortable,
Sorry.
and I'm sitting here like
Stop
just
me
looking
when-
at you with my eyes.
I'm just like,
eyes
get in here
crossed.
with the next question. Get in here with
So
the next
hey,
question.
can we issue a challenge to the Fit Fam? So the Blue is back open Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna release the schedule probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow Friday. One of the two. We'll get there. And
all right.
we'll get there. So can we get everybody to take a photo Sunday?
Sure.
Yeah, take a photo.
Tell them how to take the
Sunday
photo.
morning.
What's the photo we're looking for?
So
well,
the
you got to
photo-
Down in your underwear?
You got
Full
to
body.
do lighting like one of these guys over here.
Get some good lighting, right? Like get some good lighting and get a full length mirror if you can, or get somebody to take the photo that's better and do like a front shot, right? And I would always say just stand normal and don't overflex, but don't stick it out because I can make myself look extremely fat too.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Like let's
I
put
can do
a
that
real
easy.
photo. Stand up, stand up and just like get some of your muscle flex and just stand there like this with your arms. Get a side so that you can see the definition that's coming through your arms and also your quads, and then get a nice back muscular shot.
Sure.
You know what I
The
mean?
accountability.
Yeah, for accountability, and then do that every week until September.
Okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
Terry-
And then the scale, whatever. Like you can do it but I mean, use the photos moving forward.
Yeah.
Use the scale to find out where you're at. But I would tell people do the scale once a month.
Yeah, I don't like getting on the scale, but if I don't do it very often, look what happens.
And
So-
track the exercises. This is another thing that kind of bothers me too. Is somebody will say, "Well, I haven't lost any weight." So how many push-ups can you do now? They'll be like, I can do 25. And how many could you do when you started? Not a one.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single push-up. Now you're doing 25.
That was never sexy. Remember we tried to do fitness testing?
I know.
And we
I
came
love
up with
the
different
fitness
ways.
Because
testing.
We would
people-
have people not show up.
I
Like
know,
they
I
knew,
know
and
that.
we stopped announcing it, and then we'd get people just wanting to kill us because we want to know where you're at, right?
I love the fitness set. I made myself come even though I knew my weight was on the way up. But I
Yeah.
said, okay, I need to know where I am.
Yeah.
But I could always do more squats than I did the time before. I could
Yes.
do more push-ups than the time before,
Yeah.
and that made me happier.
We might have to sneak that in.
And most people were like that. Most people were like, "Holy shit!" You
Yeah.
know, they hated the thought of doing it, but
Yeah.
once they did like the first squats or the
Yeah.
first push-ups or whatever,
Mhm.
and they saw that they could actually do it,
one, yeah.
it was awesome. They were uplifted by it. A lot of people really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I mean, it's sort of those. It's kind of like a test.
That's to
Yeah.
be like a spring, like a
You know, it's
spring
like a
test
test.
on them.
And I also want to ask the members when you come back, we're going to challenge you. Let us challenge you. Don't fight us. You have the wrist thing. You have the knee thing. You know what I mean? Like if we say we want you to do a push-up on your toes, you're going to try
Yeah.
once. Don't tell me you can't.
Yeah.
I want you to
Do
try.
not say that.
Show me you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, because otherwise I'm going to get furious.
Yeah. Or show me you can't.
And if I'm coaching now,
Don't just
yeah.
say it. Show me you
show me you
can't.
can't first before
Yeah.
you tell me you can't.
I remember my first
Right?
class. There was
Struggle a little bit.
There was a first class where we had like weighted hip thrusts for 30 seconds, and there's one girl, I don't know her name, I'm sorry. And then she's like, I can't do it. I can't put it on, blah, blah. I'm like, I'll help you the first time, and then I'm going to watch you do them. And she did all 30 seconds.
I
I'm
know.
like, don't you ever fucking say you can't
the
again.
heavy hip thrust is very intimidating to everybody because it's a ton of weight. And how do you
I
get that
love
onto your
those.
hips?
Yeah.
Oh, I do a 95.
But it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's very easy when
It is.
when you
Sure,
use,
it's
you
good.
know,
It's
all
good.
the
It's
form.
good for. I mean, my friend Paul
It's great for
might
your
have
ass.
coined the term,
Yeah.
and he said whether you can or can't,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Whether you think
yeah.
you can
Yeah.
or whether you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
And come back on the blue, ready to work. Please.
You got it. Terry, you're 58 years old. You're pushing 60. What do you tell people out there that say, I'm too old for this shit?
Age is just a number.
It
You
is.
really, if you are too old to do it, then you're too old. But you actually will age backwards once you exercise.
Yeah.
You'll yeah.
So when did, and you've been with us for how long?
Supposed to be opened up here. When was that? 20.
2 years ago?
17,
No,
16,
3.
2016.
4. We're on our
3
fourth year
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And prior to that, did you do any kind of working out other than your karate?
Karate, no.
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 So what have you noticed in the 3 years that you were so much better at now by doing something like this?
Well, I couldn't do any push-ups. I mean, I could.
And in
maybe-
karate,
maybe
they
one-
make you do push-ups.
I used to be able to. So my karate journey is very interesting because I started when I was in my 20s. My karate journey, and we used to have to. It was so hardcore back then. Like it was like you do it till you throw up, but you better be back in 5 minutes. Throw up, come back in 5 minutes. Like there's no.
Kind of like here.
You get knocked. You get knocked out. Okay, we'll get you tattooed. Get back on the floor.
Yeah.
So, and I've broken so many fingers and stuff like that, and they just go, something go, oh, pull it out. Okay, get back on the floor. We'll tape it for you. Get back on the floor. So, I used to be able to do knuckle push-ups back then, but I was in my 20s. When I come back, it was a lot harder doing push-ups. Push-ups now. So, I would be able to do one push-up. I can do more push-ups. I've had some shoulder injuries now, so I'm coming back to it. I want to get back to what I was doing. I find that my arms are more toned. I find a lot of people my age, their arms tend not to get toned and stuff
You
like
got
that.
it. Yep.
Yeah, so my arms more toned. I used to hate doing anything abs because my abs were so weak.
Did you ever do Jen's Zumba?
Oh yeah, no, I do Jen's Zumba every Sunday.
Strong. Those abs at the end.
I know the abs are like.
Aren't they
nuts.
bullshit?
They're just no. They're great. I'm sitting there and sometimes I can't finish, but I try.
I can never finish. I've never finished her ab
so
workout one.
hard.
I
They
gotta
are
drop my
hard.
legs down.
They hard. Yeah, I have to drop my legs out
Got
too.
it.
But
And she's talking while doing it. I don't know how she shut up.
I know. And
I don't know.
she's not like talking like this.
Yeah, I
she's
know.
like just talking like normal. I mean,
Yeah.
all of you when you're doing your coaching and you're doing the exercise at the same time, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh well, you know what? It's the coaches don't work out as hard, and we just tell Jerome to scram. Focus on someone else.
Unless you're Wilson.
Yeah.
Did you watch Wilson yesterday? It was the first one.
Did he do the whole thing?
Oh,
he gassed
he
out?
came out at a 15 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then slowly, I seen him at one point, and I had to send him a reminder. Hey, bro. It was like, da-da-da. He's like, well, he was just going.
You have to pace yourself.
He was so fired up. He was up at like 3 in the morning,
Oh,
and
my
he was here at
goodness.
these guys were. I got here early, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a nice 45 minutes by myself.
Yeah.
These guys don't usually show up till about 6:30. I was here at like 6. These guys were here, and I'm like, holy, these
Oh
guys.
my god.
Yeah, like Hugo said there, whenever Jerome goes off of the coach and, pick somebody, we're just over here breathing.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear us. We might grunt out a few words or something like that. Let me ask you this. Working out with weights, does it make you look like a man?
No.
No?
It does not. Oh no.
'Cause that's something that we hear all the time from the ladies. They
I'm
don't want to
still
work
trying
out
to
with
Maybe
look
if
like a
I was
man. Where are these weights?
Do you
that make
enjoy
me look
lifting
like a
weights? Do
man?
you like
Where
grabbing
do you
heavy
find
weights?
them?
I love doing the weights.
Yeah.
That's the funnest part for me is doing the weights.
Yeah.
I try and do as heavy, and I try and go to failure. And if I got something and I can't, and I do it easily, then I try and go to failure.
Yeah.
And if I can't, I like it when if I leave here and the next day I'm not sore, I didn't work hard.
Resistance training and weights is the number one factor to improve your bone density as you age.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if you stop doing that,
You know when like older people have like that arched back? Yeah, what is that from? Is that from
Too
lack
heavy.
of muscle mass?
all of it. It's
Kyphosis.
it's posture control. It's lack of muscle. It's lack of exercising. I mean, they're overdeveloped in like the chest, the back, and not in the cheeks.
Yeah, and just lack of caring too.
A lot.
So would you coaches say that it's extremely important for not only men but women to use weights?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say it's almost
Well, I mean,
everything?
women
you have to
are
do it
also
all.
higher prone to like osteoporosis, right?
Yeah.
So they have to take care of the bones more. So and it's been proven that resistance training improves your chances to reverse that. Why not?
Yeah.
Especially when you get my age. When you get my age, and then you get a menopause and
Plus
all
you
that.
A lot of women just divert or just like default to just running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even through this
Cardio.
whole COVID, they just want to go for a run because they think that it's going to be the best thing for them. And meanwhile, then they just look super gangly, right?
Yeah.
And so if you want to have any type of like muscle tone, visible muscle, like if you're trying to get rid of that,
Yeah,
right? That's the
yeah.
most common thing. Or
Yeah.
I want to get rid of this.
The
then it's
pooch.
like you have to train that.
The
you have,
pooch.
yeah, you have
Yeah.
to like you have to build resistance in there. And so you don't. And a lot of there was a time where we were going through a cycle here where a lot of the women were trying to over challenge themselves, and I'd come in the mornings and I'd be like, "What? Why are you trying to front lunge 55-pound dumbbells
Oh,
and you're going down 10% of the range?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when I got back to coaching, I was like, no, like you're going full range. Show me you can do it with the body weight first. Then I'll load you up with 10 pounders. Then I'll load you up with 20. Not trying to do these partial reps, right? It's like when chest press and women, and like not even just women, men too, right? They'll do the chest press. I'm like, you're on the floor. Why are your elbows not hitting the floor?
Yeah.
Go the full range. Do the full thing. Sure, you can pick up the weight and you can do a partial rep, but I want to see you go through the full. Because if you don't expand that
Yeah,
muscle.
yeah.
So if you want to do your work, your booty, and we're doing lunges and you're not actually lunging, you're only working 25% of that muscle, which is going to be your quad.
Yeah.
So if you're not going down to full 90-90, then you're not getting the full
Muscle
hip.
activation, yeah.
Yeah, because the glute won't activate until you get down into a certain range. It's like doing a bicep curl here. You're not fully working the bicep unless you get the full extension.
Right.
You wouldn't do curls like this.
Yeah.
So why do you do squats like that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt judged?
No.
No?
No, actually never.
One of the biggest concerns we have is I don't want people to judge me.
No.
What would you tell that lady who's, say, in her 50s, maybe her 60s, maybe not in the greatest shape, who's looking for, like, what kind of advice would you give that woman to get their butt down here, or something similar to what we do?
You know, have a goal. But you're never going to be judged here. You're only going to be supported here. You're supported by the coaches, and you're supported by the people you're working with.
Yeah.
And they'll keep you going. They'll encourage you. They'll help you. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. See, I knew you could do it.
Yes.
You know. Next time, try 2. And just increase. I mean, it's not like, and be patient with yourself, and you will get better at this. You will get better, but you have to be consistent. That's the number one thing is you have to be. You can't come once or twice a week and expect to have these amazing results.
Well, did you notice that the people that come here celebrate their age?
Yes.
Like
that's one thing, isn't that right?
They celebrate.
They have no
their
problem
age
saying
here.
their age. Yes.
Pat turned 72 on the blue. My mom turned 62 on the blue.
Yeah.
Like nobody's saying, "Oh, I'm 72 years old," and with a smile.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Most women don't want to reveal their age.
Yeah.
Because they look older than what they actually are sometimes.
Totally.
You come here, you look fantastic, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm 62 or I'm 58." You look like you're 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the thing when you come and work out is like, we're not judging you, we're celebrating
It is. It's a celebration.
Yeah.
I find the whole time you come here, it's a
We
celebration.
find it impressive. It's inspiring.
And that's actually a good point, because anytime we interview one of our members and I ask for their intro information, they're always telling me their age.
Yeah.
They're glad to put it out there.
They look younger.
You know what I mean?
than they are.
Nobody hides it, so that's actually a good point. Yeah.
And also, I like to travel a lot. And then when I went to Israel, we were on and off the bus all the time and going up. There's a mountain we had to climb. There's a lot of people who are younger than I would who couldn't do it. And I went, if I'm going to travel once I retire, I am going to be in the best shape. I want to go up that mountain. I want to be able to hike for 4 hours.
A lot of younger people are intimidated by our members when they come in here and they see, like, you'll get a 31-year-old female coming in here and she's looking at someone like yourself, right? And you're just crushing it, and they're like, God, these guys are all fitness gurus, right? Like they look at us,
like
right?
a middle-aged
And then they find out their age,
Yeah.
right? They find out your age. You got Rick jumping over the. Can you still do it, Rick?
I don't know.
Oh, that's gonna have to be a test.
3.5 feet.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I jumped so far over that the holder that holds the bars.
Right.
That was my highest.
Oh.
And then when
my
somebody asks
gosh.
us our age, I'm like, man, I'm 37.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I'm
Yeah.
44, yo.
Yeah.
44. Let's go.
I'm 18.
Perpetually 18.
Gradually.
all in the mind. Guys, we're going to wrap up the podcast. You guys got anything else you
Yeah,
wanted to ask Terry?
would you? I was hoping to debate, but she's. But no, she seems reasonable. Do you think that veganism is the way to go
For me.
for you?
For me.
Wait, I have a question. Why do we have all this stuff here?
Well,
what is
He
the
asked
purpose
me
of
to
it?
take- You know what
Okay.
he said? What are you weird about? Well, I don't like to cook, but I collect cooking gadgets. He goes,
Okay,
bring
so you
it
brought all
all.
your weird gadgets. Can you just give us a run through as what they are here?
Vitamix.
They all look the same to me.
Okay.
what does this say?
You can actually you got I have a mandolin
Fake
that
abs.
you can cut potatoes that really thin, and then you put it on there, put it in the oven or an air fryer. You can make your own French chips
And let's call you.
That's
How,
what this is
how
for?
often do you use the Vitamix?
every day.
Every day.
I do
Okay.
smoothie.
I would
every
probably
day.
do that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
soups, whatever.
What's the
Often
difference between a Vitamix and a Ninja Bullet or a Ninja whatever?
The warranty, the customer service,
Yeah.
and the high
Because
quality.
those are not cheap.
They're not cheap.
No, they're
but
not.
They're
cheap.
great.
I
They're
did
great.
monthly installments on my Vitamix.
Is that a weed grinder?
No,
What? How much is it?
It's about $490, about $500.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
How long have you had that?
Pablo
I've had
Escobar, all of his
probably
people
3
use
or 4
this.
years.
That's great.
Pressure cooker.
How often do you use that?
Well, I do my
I'd
own.
like to get a
I
pressure
do my
cooker
own.
for ribs. Oh,
You
yeah,
can
but you
do
don't
ribs.
eat
Oh,
ribs.
you do anything like that?
No, but I mean, and I say it to my husband, but I do my own beans. So I buy my beans like raw, and then I put them in there and pressure cook. They're
They're so
totally
soft.
different.
Does it
totally
cook it
different
faster?
taste. Well, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I can
Yeah.
put chickpeas in there for 8 minutes.
So if I put like some ribs in there, it'd cook
Oh,
my
yeah,
ribs
yeah.
in 10
Way
minutes.
fast.
And
Super
then
fast.
Ready to
Yeah.
eat.
You can saute in here. You
See,
can
if
make
I was
soups,
single,
you can make rice.
I had all these things
You
when I
could
was
do a
single.
whole meal.
Because I was so lazy.
And then you just went out and ate anyways.
Former
You can
grill.
make, you can make your Thanksgiving turkey in this
You
thing.
can make
Oh,
whole
wow.
meals in this. Like,
Yeah.
if you like casseroles and stuff, you can make. Reason I got onto this is there was a truck driver and he was on the road like all the time, and he had a pressure cooker,
Yeah.
an Instapot, and this is the only thing that he used to eat.
Yeah,
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like right out of his truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he
That's a
uses
male
semi-often.
thing. Like just
Pardon?
quick,
You
easy.
use this
Throw
semi-often.
everything in one spot and leave it.
Yeah.
soups
I
forever.
probably use it probably every 2 weeks for beans. So a lot of times I'll do like
okay.
a rice chickpea.
So we got a
I
rice
know what
cooker.
this
Rice
is. That's a
cooker.
rice cooker,
Often
right,
used.
Jerome?
But this is also rice
You know what
cooker.
that is,
A
Jerome.
rice cooker,
Well,
brother.
yeah.
But it's not the Tiger brand.
No, it's
No.
not.
You got to get the Tiger. That's the
Yeah.
Canadian. I'm gonna say Canadian, but it's an
Canadian.
ethnic thing. That's
Yeah.
the Canadian version.
Rice cooker I use probably several times a week because I do a lot of brown rice and quinoa.
Oh yeah, sure.
What is that on this?
That looks like a waffle maker.
Yeah, that yeah. But I
Waffle
don't like
maker?
to cook, but to make out the actual waffle makes
And that's
it
a
lot.
shirt presser.
That's the George Foreman.
George
Oh, that's
Foreman.
That's how you put numbers on the back of T-shirts right there.
Rick's got one of those. That's how we do all
That's
of
how
our
I started my
burgers.
career right there
George
on that one.
George Foreman is really good for burgers in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So where's your favorite place to shop? Where do you get all these appliances?
Everywhere. I'm
Can you
just-
send us a photo of your setup?
Like, are you an addict? Are you a shopping
like if-
addict?
But you know what? I don't like to cook.
Do you seek it out?
This is what my wish is. I'm going to get that one item that will make cooking easier, and I'll like it better.
You're chasing.
Well, that's
you're
what- that's
she's
what they said
chasing the
about everything.
I'm
You're
chasing
chasing
the
the dragon. That's what you're doing. You're
yes,
looking
find
for that
it.
for
Every one of
this
these
thing
things.
does this now. I
Yeah,
can
I
get
know.
rid of that.
Yeah.
I
thing.
know
Yeah.
Jen was selling something on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh no, actually, I literally have no more room.
Oh yeah.
I have like this pantry downstairs. I got to go down.
We
I'm
had
done.
a discussion about that, Jen and I, and she's like, "You want to get Nary this thing? It's like 50% off and blah blah." I'm like, "No." And then she bought it, and she's like, "You're right. I don't use it."
And it's giant.
It's giant.
You know,
It's
and
a
they
put
cooker,
these
some
things?
cooker thing.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
looking at that, but
you know, and you put 2 or 3 of these things out on your counters, and that's
Oh,
it. You
I
have no
have
more
done.
counters.
I have
It's
no
done.
counter space,
You
so
know?
none of this is on in my counter.
Yeah.
I have like a
And then
cupboard
how do
in
you
my-
find it after?
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Like when you have so much things hidden.
Oh no, I know where everything is. The
spots.
stuff I
Oh,
use
do
the
you?
most is in place. I got stuff
Okay.
downstairs, but I
But
literally
nobody else
cannot-
would be able to find it.
What's
nobody's
next
interested.
on your list?
No, nothing. I'm done.
I'm thinking of like a toaster oven.
Oh, yeah, do you
no,
have
I
one?
have an air fryer, which does the same thing.
Oh, the air fryer's not even here.
That
No,
sounds like a lot of
it's in my
cleaning.
car. No, it's not. It's in my car. I think it's in my car.
And
but
the
it's
air
too big to
fryer
bring.
is just frying your food without the oil. or
Without the
less
oil. So I've
Yeah.
been doing a lot of tofu in there, trying to juice the tofu, and it gives it sort of like a meatier texture to it, and you don't have to fry it in
Like a
oil.
crunch?
You can make put in potatoes and make French fries in there with no oil.
Mm.
So yeah, you
I've
can
had
do
one
it.
of those.
I'm intrigued.
It lasted 5 minutes.
Why?
It just
was
never
it
did
good?
it the way that they say that it does. I don't know.
It-
People keep saying it, but I left it in there for like 2 hours, like
Well, the
trying to
sweet
get them
potato
crispy,
fries,
and it
the-
just never got crispy.
The sweet potato fries never got.
You also
crispy.
have zero patience for shit like that.
2
so-
hours, Rick. I kept it in there.
Well,
just because I wanted.
You should have tried it for 2 weeks.
Oh, true. True. Yeah. You know what? You're right on that one.
2 hours into it, it's it gone. It's like a baby. I don't like you after 5 minutes. Get out of here. Pretty sure you got to
2
give it 20
weeks.
years, buddy.
Let's get a new one.
Oh man. All right. Anything else? What else?
I asked
What else
my
you want to
question.
bait?
Nah,
debate?
she's not. She's reasonable.
If everybody can give this a share, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
And do we have anybody who talked about their favorite kitchen utensil?
Yes, we do.
Let's see what we got here.
Blessing says that she doesn't have a mirror and a scale at all.
A mirror.
No mirror in her
No
mirror.
mirror.
I can
She's
see that,
at
though.
inches. She goes by inches.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah. We got Liv.
Yep.
Is that a friend of yours?
That's fine, man.
Yeah. She goes, weight is just a number, but relative weight is useful to her.
Ah, shut up, Liv.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
I
Relative
know.
weight.
I know what that means.
You do know
Well, I mean, it's just
she's a very healthy, active person.
yeah. Well, but she just basically just I mean, it moves back and forth. So
I
she's
think it's
just
like relative to like probably her height, 'cause she's a bit
Yeah.
taller. And
Oh,
maybe,
I see.
And maybe to like her other performances. She likes
I have
to
a
cycle
high
and
alert
run.
thing. I have a high alert thing right now. So, guys,
Let's hear it.
we haven't talked about poo yet. Okay, Terry?
I
Hey,
love-
at least we got towards the end
We're,
of the podcast.
we're talking about weight.
You must
okay?
have good ones.
The question, yeah. Is it more of like a soft serve? Or,
One day we're gonna get a poop expert on here because it's
We need to
important
do
to know
that.
it. I don't.
we need
Gut
to.
health.
should analyze.
Experts.
Gut health is the most important
Yeah.
thing.
You
Now,
got
the
it.
science coming up, but I'm going to nerd out.
Okay,
on
so
it.
my
The
poop
science
question to everybody is here: Have you ever taken a big dump and weighed yourself?
Oh
Before and
yeah,
after.
of course. I wish I could do it first thing I wake up before I weigh myself.
Rick? No.
You haven't?
No, I don't
You
weigh
have
myself.
like this is a thing.
That's a very guy thing to do,
Yeah.
like a very bro
Obviously
thing to do.
Like I'll weigh myself like first thing in the morning. I don't know if it's before or after poop and pee. I'm not even sure. I don't know if I've
It's all
ever
relative.
considered that.
It's all relative.
Nary's all about you got to do it at a certain time, no clothes.
Oh
and
no, I'm with
the whole
Nary on
shebang,
that one.
yeah.
I'm with Nary on that one.
So Mimi loves ducks. She wants to come back what's the word?
Reincarnated?
Reincarnated
As
a duck?
Yeah, correct. Shauna Goodison.
Apparently they have
is
good
online.
text.
Yes. Ash says morning, and Sarah Peabody says she used the Epicure steamer. What's that about?
I don't know.
Epicure
steamer. So I'm gonna assume it's like, it'd be nice as the dim sum things.
Yeah.
Do you know what'd be nice?
Yeah.
Dim sum.
Dim sum.
Do you remember eating dim sum?
Yes.
I don't like this. I tried it.
Dim sum?
Well, there's so many options. How can you not like all
acquired
dim
taste.
sum?
It's a texture thing for me.
Duck feet?
Not duck feet. Not duck feet.
Do you eat tripe? Do you guys eat the tripe?
No,
I
I've
tried
had
it.
it. It's gross.
I tried it once.
Oh yeah.
I get
Tripe's
the
great,
ribs.
Man. I love that.
The
Oh,
ribs
yeah.
with the rice. I get the shrimp dumplings, the vegetable dumplings.
Yeah.
You can go vegan
all
there.
the dumplings.
It's just
all the
hard-
dumplings.
I'm pretty sure they hide tripe in my dumplings.
I'm just hard to eat assholes.
I tell you, I went
You
to
know what it is?
Is that what that is?
Well, tripe, right? Isn't that assholes?
stomach
like
lining.
the colon?
Stomach lining, yeah.
stomach
Or
lining?
It could be pretty close.
I went to Korea. They have some very interesting food in Korea.
Like what?
Yeah. Well, they eat dog.
Oh, do they?
They do. They actually have dogs
Yeah,
like,
well,
hanging.
We're not
What?
talking about that on
Did you
podcast.
see that?
No.
Did you witness that?
No, I did not. But they had a lot of like anti-dog eating activists. Oh, I think they're getting out of it now
Yeah.
because I mean it's not a very. It's
Well,
a
I
very
mentioned this.
cruel
I
practice.
don't know if I mentioned in the podcast, but like China just recently announced that like pets are pets or dogs are pets and
Yeah.
not food.
Yeah.
And you can't eat dogs anymore.
Oh,
Me, I like a good
revelation.
German Shepherd. So
Here we go. We might as well start talking about Donald Trump now. We're going to just piss everybody off.
and I'm just kidding. Relax.
We ain't eating dogs here.
Yeah.
Trust me. I promise you that. We love our animals.
Yeah, no.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Everybody, if you don't mind, like, comment, and sharing this video. You can also go down to our YouTube channel and subscribe to Fit Club Media. Thanks, Terry, for coming on
Thank you.
and bringing all your gadgets. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Guys, we'll see you on,
Everybody
the Blue on Monday. Get ready.
Yeah.